Dhanava Pranam, Namaste. All glories to Srila Bhakti Rakshak, Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Srimad Bhagavad-Gita Ki Jai. Chapter 14, Gunatraya-vibhaga-yoga, the three divisions of material nature. Text 6. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat, prakashakam ananmaya. Shuka sangena bhadnati, jnana sangena chanaga. O sinless one, of these three modes, due to its purity, the mode of goodness is illuminating and wholesome, conditioning one to happiness and knowledge. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi trishna sangha samadbhavam, tanhi bhadnanti konteya karma sangena dehinam. O son of Kunti, know the mode of passion to be the embodiment of desire. Born of hankering and attachment, it condemns one to action. Tamastvagya jamvidhi mohanam sarva dehinam pramadhalasya nidrabis pramadhalasya nidrabis tani bhadnati bharata. And, O Bharata, know the mode of ignorance born of darkness, to be the ignorance of the embodied beings, conditioning them to delusion, laziness, and slumber. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati raja karmani bharata, jnanam avritya tu tama pramade sanjayatyuta. O Arjuna, the mode of goodness conditions the embodied being to happiness, and the mode of passion conditions him to action, but the mode of ignorance covers his knowledge and traps him in illusion. Rajastamaschabhidbhuya sattvam bhavati bharata. Raja sattvam tamaschaiva tamasattvam rajastata. O Bharata, goodness overcomes passion and ignorance. Goodness overcomes passion and ignorance. Passion overcomes goodness and ignorance overcomes goodness and passion. Each mode, in turn, defeats the others in an unending battle for supremacy. Sarva dvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate, jnanam yada tada vidyad vivriddham sattvam etyuta. When the gateways of the body are illumined with knowledge, know this to be the manifestation of the mode of goodness. Lobha pravrittir arambha karamanam asmrfa. Karmanam Lobha pravrittir arambha karmanam asma sfrifriha. Rajasyetani jayante vivridhe bharata sabha. O Arjuna, most notable of the Bharata dynasty, know that when the mode of passion predominates in a person, greed, exertion, undertaking of activities, unrest, and hankering become manifest. Aprakasho pravrittischa pramado moha evacha. Tamasyetani jayante vivridhe kuru nandana. O Kuruna Nandana, by the influence of the mode of ignorance, all the symptoms of dullness, inactivity, delusion, and bewilderment become manifest. Yada sattve pravriddhe tu pralayam yati dehabrit tadot tamha vidham lokan amhalan pratipadyate. If a person dies in a state of the mode of goodness, he goes to the pure plains where those who have higher knowledge reside. Rajasya pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate, tata pralinastamhasi mudha yonishu jayate. When a person dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth as a human attached to worldly activity. If one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in lower species. Text 16. Karmana sukrutasyahu satvikam nirmalam phalam rajastu phalam rajashastu phalam dukam agyanam tamasha. It is said by the learned that good actions result in purity, passionate actions result in sorrow, and ignorant actions lead to darkness. Satvat sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobha evacha pramada moha tamaso bhavato jnanam evacha. From the mode of goodness, knowledge arises. From the mode of passion, greed. And from the mode of ignorance, delusion, bewilderment, and a lack of knowledge ensue. Urdhvam gachanti sattvasta madhye tistanti rajasa. Jaghanya guna vrittista adho gachanti tamasa. Persons in persons in goodness ascend up to Satyaloka. Those in passion remain in the middle as humans, and the unfortunate, ignorant persons fall to the lower planes of suffering. Nanyam gunhebhyaha kartaram yadadrastan upasyati. Gunebhyascha param veti madbhavam so digacha, digachate. When a person sees the three modes to be the only impetus of this world, and knows the Supreme Lord, transcendental to the modes, then he comes to love me with devotion. Gunan etan atityatrin dehi deha samudbhavan, janma mrityu jarha dukar, vimukto mritam ashnute. Transcending these modes manifest in the body, he is liberated from the miseries of birth, death, and old age, and knows the joy of immortality. Arjuna uvacha karlingaistrin gunan etan atito bhavati prabho kim achara katam chaitams tringunan atvartate. Arjuna said, O Lord, what are the symptoms of a person transcendental to these three modes of material nature? How does he behave, and how does he transcend the modes? Sri Bhagavan uvacha prakasham cha pravittim cha moham eva cha pandava nadvesti sampravrittani nanivrittani kanchati udasinha vadashino gunaryona vichalyate gunhavartante ityevam yovatistati nengate samhaduka shusvasta samalostrasma kanchana tulya priya priyo dhiras tulya nindatma samstuti manapamanyos tulyas tulyo mitari pakshayo sarvaramba parityagi gunatita sauchate. The Supreme Lord replied, O Pandava, it is said that a person who has transcended the three modes of material nature neither resents illumination, activation, and delusion when they appear, nor does he hanker for them when they withdraw. Poised in the knowledge that the modes are engaging, he is not distracted by them. He remains unperturbed, unconcerned. Remaining self-satisfied, he sees joy and sorrow equally. He sees earth, rock, or gold with the same vision of equality. He is wise, equipoised in desirable and undesirable circumstances, abuse and praise, honor and dishonor. He behaves fairly with friend and foe alike, and he renounces all mundane endeavors. Mamchayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Sagunan sammatityaitan brahmabhuyaya kalpate. A person who without deviation serves me with devotion, transcends the three modes of material nature, and becomes qualified to know his internal divine identity. Brahmano hi pratisthaham amritasyabhayasya cha shasvatasya cha dharmasya sukasya ekantikasya cha. I am the basis of the absolute truth. the inexhaustible nectar, the eternal pastimes, and ultimate ecstasy of divine love. Iti Sri Mahabharate Sata Sahasrayam Samhityam Vayasikyam Bhisma Parvani Srimad Bhagavad-Gita Supanishatshu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Gunatraya-vibhaga-yoga Namo Chaturdaso Jayaha. End of chapter 14, the three divisions of material nature. From the conversation of Sri Krishna and Arjuna in Srimad Bhagavad-Gita Upanishad, the Yoga scripture of transcendental knowledge in Bhisma Parva of Sri Mahabharata, the holy scripture revealed by Srila Vyasadeva in 100,000 verses. Chapter 15, Purushottam Yoga, the Supreme Person. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhvamulam Adashakam Asvatam Prabhur Avyayam Chandamasi Yasya Parnani Yastam Vedasa Vedavit. The Supreme Lord said, "It is said in the scriptures that this material world is like a peepal tree, roots up, branches down, endless yet transient. Its leaves represent the nourishing verses of the Vedas. One who knows this tree is a knower of the Vedas." Commentary by Srila Sridhar Maharaj. The roots of the tree of this world are said to face upwards. Its root cause is the highest plane. It is manifest by the potency of the Supreme Lord. However, it's rooted in aversion to the Lord. Its branches are said to face downward, since according to the law of karma, all species of life from the highest to the lowest branch out from it. It is known as an astva tree. The word asvata means ephemeral, or that which does not remain in the same state for even a day. Yet, it is endless, in the sense that it constantly appears in the natural flow of cause and effect. The leaves of the tree represent the fruitive verses of the Vedas, Karma Kand. As the leaves of a tree nourish and beautify it, these verses similarly encourage and illuminate the world. The external potency of the Lord, Maya, is eternal, and it manifests this world. Yet the world itself is perishable inasmuch as it again becomes unmanifest. Although the fruitive verses of the Vedas provide its nourishment, their underlying purpose is rather to enlighten the conditioned souls to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental to the mundane. Thus, one who knows these fundamental principles is a knower of the true essence of the Vedas. And a small note that the peepal tree is known for its longevity. Adhas chordvam prishtas tasya shaka guna pravridha vishaya pravala adhas chamulanyanu sanantani karmanu bandini manusya loke. Some of its branches extend upwards, as the planes of the demigods and celestial beings. Branches extend downwards, as the planes of the humans, animals, and the lower species. And nourished by the three modes of nature, its shoots are the objects of the senses. Some aerial roots also extend downwards to take root in the land of karma within the human plane. Commentary. Within the expansive manifestation of this perishable yet endless world, some of the living beings are nourished by the mode of goodness, and they wander throughout the upper planes. In the ego of gods and celestial beings, others influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance are wandering throughout the planes of the humans, animals, tree, and lower species, assuming the identities of those species. The shoots of the tree of this world represent the objects of the senses: sound, smell, touch, taste, and form, as transformations of the five primary subtle elements, pancha tanmatra, produced from the ego of the living beings. The principal roots face upwards, inverted, indicating aversion to the Supreme Lord. Further, some aerial roots face downward, entering the land of karma in the human plane. These represent the human's attempt to enjoy the fruits of their actions, and these aerial roots nourish the tree as a separate secondary cause. And that was text 2, and thus ends our reading for today. All glories to Sripad Bhakti Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to our Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Jai Vigyan Muni Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shripad Bhakti Nishkam Shanta Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Jai Gira Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai. Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Nitai Gora Hari 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 Bol.